Don't defend yourself. Bold identity. When someone accuses you, criticizes you, or questions you unfairly, your first instinct is to explain yourself, to prove the truth, to make them understand. But here's what most people don't realize: defending yourself gives their words authority. The moment you start scrambling to prove your heart, you've stepped into the wrong role. You've walked into a courtroom you didn't schedule and handed them the gavel like they get to decide if you're guilty or innocent. That's not strength, that's submission. Now listen, this doesn't mean you never clarify, but clarification and defense are not the same. Clarification is calm, factual, grounded. Defense is reactive, emotional, rushed, and people don't just hear your words, they feel your energy. The moment you defend, your body language says, "I'm under pressure," and that weakens you without you realizing it. Control the frame, or you'll get controlled. Every conversation has a frame. A frame is the perspective that sets the rules. Whoever controls the frame controls the direction, the tone, and the outcome. So when someone says, "You're selfish," and you respond with, "No, I'm not, here's why," you've accepted their frame. You're now proving yourself in their courtroom. But watch what happens when you refuse the frame. That's an interesting way to see it. Help me understand what you mean. What makes you say that? Now the pressure shifts. You didn't get defensive. You didn't collapse into approval seeking. You stayed equal. That's frame control. Acknowledge without justifying. Here's a skill that separates grown confidence from insecurity. Acknowledgement is not agreement. When someone says, "You don't care about me," you don't need a 10-minute speech. Try this. "I hear you. I hear that's how you feel. I can tell this matters to you." That's not weakness, that's restraint. And restraint is power. Justification keeps conflict alive. Acknowledgement takes the wind out of the fight. It's like dropping the rope in a tug of war. The game ends when you refuse to pull. Ask instead of answer. When someone comes at you sharp, your impulse is to answer, but every answer can become a trap. Because answers often put you back in defense mode. Questions slow the conflict down. What makes you say that? Can you give me an example? What would you prefer moving forward? What does hard enough look like to you? Now they have to define their accusation. And a lot of disrespect falls apart under clarity. Because vague accusations survive on emotion, they collapse under specifics. Stay grounded, not reactive. Here's the final piece. In every heated moment, there's a choice: react or stay grounded. Reacting feels like protection, but it's actually surrender. Because the second they can control your emotions, they control the conversation. Grounded doesn't mean emotionless. It means you've trained yourself to pause. That pause is where your authority lives. Calm tone, calm breath, steady presence. And when your calm meets their chaos, the contrast speaks louder than your defense ever could. Closing. So the next time someone comes at you, pause. Don't rush into proving. Don't accept their courtroom. Don't hand them the gavel. Control the frame. Acknowledge without justifying. Ask instead of answer. Stay grounded. Because in bold identity, your truth doesn't require permission, and your value doesn't go on trial.